Most of you are trapped in the primary sector because you've labeled yourself a farmer or a transporter. You think the mud on your boots defines your ceiling. You don't have a lack of opportunity. You have a translation problem. I'm releasing the Competency Mapping Protocol, the Sir Ian Wood-inspired roadmap for transforming your ant labor into high-value industrial services. We are going to map your invisible skills and turn your water pH checks into environmental data analytics. The masterclass and the technical audit ledgers are live. Link in bio. Become the architect. You're playing a small game because you're using small words. You tell people you farm fish or you drive boats in the lagoon. By doing that, you are capping your own value. You are placing yourself at the bottom of the food chain, where margins are thin and labor is cheap. The market hears farmer and they think commodity. They don't see the complexity of what you actually do. They don't see the water chemistry management, the automated feeding calibrations, or the harsh environment navigation. You are sitting on a mountain of industrial competency, but you're selling it at the price of raw fish. You are an expert dressed as a laborer, and as long as you use the language of the ant, you will never receive the paycheck of the alpha. It's time to stop describing your work and start mapping your mastery. Sir Ian Wood didn't build a global energy empire from an ivory tower. He started with a fishing trawler. But he wasn't just catching fish. He was mastering the discipline of the catch. He understood that the skills required to run a fleet in the North Sea were the exact same skills required to service an oil rig. He didn't just change jobs, he translated his mastery. He moved from the net to the brain. He saw that his fisherman logic was actually harsh environment logistics. The Competency Mapping Protocol is your surgical tool to do the same. You aren't just a farmer, you are an environmental data analyst. You aren't just a boat driver, you are a specialist in industrial supply chains. Sir Ian Wood proved that you just need to be the best fisherman who ever looked at an oil rig. It's time to stop seeing the mud and start seeing the infrastructure. Look at your daily hard tasks. This is the before state, the trawler phase. In Agrico, you're monitoring water pH and salinity. In Mobilis, you're navigating the mangroves and maintaining engines in 90% humidity. In real estate, you're doing technical building audits. Right now, these are just chores. They are low-tech anchors. You see yourself as someone who gets their hands dirty to survive. You're performing biomass calculations for your tilapia, but you're not recording the data. You're navigating the lagoon, but you're not documenting the route. You have no technical specifications for your assets. You are performing high-value labor, but charging primary sector prices. You are an industrialist in the making, but you are still speaking the language of the village market. Now, let's visualize the after state. This is the sovereign industrialist. In this state, you have moved from the net to the brain. Your fish health monitoring has been translated into environmental data analytics. You are now a consultant for water quality in the mining sector. Your mangrove navigation has become harsh environment logistics for offshore energy firms. You have a technical audit ledger. You are recording every failure and every success. You have turned your intuition into an industrial SOP. You own the intellectual property of your routes and your production cycles. When you speak to a mining man or an oil man, you use their language. ROI, HSE, risk mitigation. You aren't asking for a job. You are offering a solution backed by granular field data. You have reached the alpha vision, where you govern the movement of energy because you mastered the laws of the earth. How do you cross that bridge from the net to the brain? You use the Competency Mapping roadmap. The bridge is built by identifying the underlying technical skill in your current anchor. Your low-tech anchor is tilapia farming. Your underlying technical skill is recirculating aquaculture systems, RAS. Your future high-value target is a technical consultant for UN-backed food security projects. This bridge is built by the Corafia Authority audit. You start using InnovTech tools to track your performance. You create a technical specification for every boat and every tank. You stop doing and start documenting. Every time you solve a technical problem in the mangroves, you write the manual on how to solve it. This is how you move from primary labor to high-value service. You aren't just working, you are building an industrial library. You are training the ant to think like an architect. By now, the awareness should be absolute. Your value isn't in what you do, but in how you explain it to the powerful. You've heard the Wood model. You understand that your daily struggle is actually an industrial apprenticeship. But a map is useless if you don't have the discipline to translate your first skill. I am using this exact protocol to transform Alpha Holding into a service powerhouse. I don't just want to own farms, I want to own the standards for how farming is done in the Delta. I've made the competency mapping protocol and the service translation tables available to you. I've uploaded the spreadsheets, the ones that help you translate ant work into Alpha services, to my Patreon. This is the manual for the laborer who is ready to become an engineer. I am not looking for hard workers, I am looking for architects. On the Corifea Patreon, you are getting the steel, the technical audit templates, the HSE checklist for industrial partners, and the roadmap for building your own intellectual property library. Your task for this week is clinical. Perform a mastery translation. Pick one task you do every day, like water monitoring or engine maintenance, and find its industrial name. Write down the 3 international companies that would pay for that skill if it were backed by data. Stop seeing yourself as a farmer. Build the engineering firm. Go to the link in my bio. Join the Corifea Inner Circle on Patreon. Download the competency mapping protocol and start your wood pivot today. The rig is waiting for the fisherman who knows how to read the sea. I am Parfait Eddie, and this is Corifea Strategic. I'll see you on the inside.